A Navy veteran and his wife were completely heartbroken when they lost their beloved animal. The couple was filled with grief, and it felt like there was a hole in their heart that needed to be filled. That was when they came across two senior dogs that were in need of a loving home. Christopher is a United States Navy veteran who served for 22 years. He recently retired in 2017 and now works for a defense contractor in San Diego. In San Diego, with his wife, Christopher raised his family of two daughters and their dog, Boxer Kronk. Christopher has remained a dedicated worker, serving his part as an interior communications electrician. His job makes him responsible for the maintenance, repair, and installation of various communication systems for naval ships and facilities. Getting back into civilian life has been surprisingly easy for Christopher. He has managed to assimilate greatly. However, when he lost his Boxer of 12 years, Christopher found that it was almost an unbearable change. The loss of Kronk hit both Christopher and his wife hard. Everyone deals with the loss of a pet differently, and it was very hard for the family. It felt like Kronk's loss left a hole in all of their hearts. The husband and wife needed time to grieve their loss, and they didn't start looking for a new dog immediately. Eventually, after enough time has passed, the couple felt ready to start the search for a new dog. When we were ready, Christopher told Pets for Patriots, we decided to visit our local animal shelter and found Murphy. He is a 7-year-old Boxer, and we wanted to give him a home to spend his senior dog years. The couple adopted Murphy from the County of San Diego Department of Animal Services. Veterans who adopt from this shelter actually receive a discount on many of the adoption fees. Finally, Murphy had a home, and after such a hard life. As a senior dog, Murphy had lived a very long life before being adopted by Christopher and his wife. When rescuers discovered him, Murphy had been living on the streets for a while, was walking with a limp, and had absolutely no home. It was a sad find. No one at the shelter had any idea of how long Murphy had been living on the streets. The only thing they did now was that life had been hard for Murphy. Luckily, he fell into the perfect forever home. Christopher and Jamie were so happy with Murphy in their lives. His presence helped them a lot, and so the couple decided that they wanted to open up their home to another dog. Both of them wanted to spread the love around. So Christopher and Jamie returned to the County of San Diego Department of Animal Services to find their new family member. That's when they came across Rocky, another senior Boxer dog. The couple felt he was the perfect find. About 4 months later, we adopted Rocky. He too was a Boxer, he says. He is 10 years old and also deaf. We also wanted to provide him with a loving and safe environment to spend his senior years. At first, Christopher and Jamie had no idea that Rocky was deaf. They only realized when Rocky wouldn't respond to vocal commands. However, this didn't faze the couple at all. Christopher and Jamie are just happy to have found two perfect senior dogs that they can extend their love and care to. While many people tend to overlook senior dogs, these two went out of their way to provide them with a great home. I found out about Pets for Patriots through our local shelter, Christopher recalls. It is an amazing program, and I wanted to help rescue an older dog and ended up getting two. Still, Kronk will always have a special place in Christopher's heart. These two have brought so much joy to our home, Christopher says. All they want to do is please us and show how much they appreciate being adopted. They show us lots of love and are constantly making us laugh. They really helped us with the loss of Kronk. We love how they interact with each other, he shares. I also love how excited they get when we go to grandmas and grandpas. They are always ready to greet you when you arrive home with Boxer wags and slobbers. Christopher has become a serious advocate for adoption shelters. He believes that there are so many wonderful animals in these shelters that deserve a loving and caring home. The Army vet believes that everyone should head into a shelter to find a pet. There are so many animals just waiting to be adopted, he says. Every animal deserves the chance to fill your home with joy. Christopher is grateful that he took a chance on a shelter and ended up with two amazing dogs. Now Christopher and Jamie's home is filled with joy and happiness. The couple have never been happier and love how much fun their senior dogs are.
This story was really incredible, but you will like the next one more.
No one wanted to adopt this elderly dog, and when she met this girl, she wouldn't let go. A young girl of only 12 years old was volunteering at a shelter dog. the place where she'd discover a dog ready to change her life. Molly Wilgan had no idea that her love for that one dog would save the life of dozens more. 2 years ago, Molly and her family were volunteering at Cape Ann Animal Aid in Massachusetts. That's where she fell in love with a lovely black Labrador mix called Mama Grace. Mindy Wilgan, Molly's mother, wasn't sure the dog would be a good addition at first, but Mama Grace won their hearts. Mindy recalls that it was almost the end of their shift. We even had our coats on when the staff asked us if we could take out just one more dog, Mama Grace. So they did. The poor pup really wanted to get out. They said she was a little hyper in her kennel, barking constantly and was refusing to go to the bathroom, added Mindy. So they took Grace out for a walk, and she just blossomed. She was so different outside. She would come running toward me, then stop short, sit down right at my feet, and just look up at me with her sad, soulful eyes. She was amazing, said Mindy, who was impressed to see the pup change outside her kennel. The family decided to give Mama Grace a home for a few days so that she could enjoy life outside the kennels. She really needed a break. As soon as they reached the car, the pooch jumped in the back seat next to Molly. What happens next is amazing. Reaching the house, Mama Grace didn't need much time to make herself at home and snuggle with everyone there. The whole family loved how she just fit right in, and even Riley, the family's adopted dog, loved her very much. After 3 days of fostering Mama Grace, Mindy took a decision she never thought she would. I knew in my heart on that car ride home that she was going to be ours. Soon, the family would find out about Mama Grace's past. After they adopted the pooch, Mindy read the shelter paperwork and a note from Sue and Edie from EARL's Hope Rescue, Georgia. Mindy said that the letter was simply heartbreaking. This is what happened. Mama Grace was found on the streets by animal control officers in Georgia. They believed that she was hit by a car. The vets assessed her situation. She was malnourished and almost giving birth to a litter. A local shelter heard about the mother dog and her babies. This is when Edie raced to save them. All of the pups were sick with pneumonia and were barely alive. Edie took care of them all and called the mother dog Mama Grace. Her name was picked to show that the mother dog showed grace while being ill and still took care of her pups. Finally, all the pups got better and found their homes. But Mama Grace remained with Edie, who nursed her back to health. When Mama Grace got better, Edie sent her to Cape Ann Animal Aid to find a family in New England. As soon as Mindy and Molly finished reading Easy's letter, they contacted the woman and sent her pictures of the pooch. Mindy Wilkins says that she thanked her for giving her up and promised her we would take good care of her. Then Edie responded, explaining how many dogs are at risk in Georgia shelters. Then Molly did this incredible thing. Molly had a volunteer project to complete as part of her bat mitzvah preparations, so she collected donations to help save dogs like Mama Grace. She launched the PAWS Project Foundation and started raising money. Molly's goal was to at least gather $2,500 in 1 year, starting in November 2016. But she couldn't believe her eyes when, by the end of 2017, she gathered more than $28,000 and received items of a worth well over $40,000. Everything Molly gathered, she sent to rescue groups, including the one Edie runs. Both she and her mom went to visit Edie in Georgia and the shelter Mama Grace first lived. After that visit, Molly got more motivated than ever. It might have started as a bat mitzvah project, but her efforts gave birth to a nonprofit organization. Until now, PAWS Project Foundation raised over $70,000 in donations and helped to rescue 93 dogs. Molly said that she feels lucky to have had a good experience and that some parts of it were really sad, but she has also met a lot of great people and saved a lot of lives. She knows that Mama Grace is the reason why she started everything. If it wasn't for Mama Grace, we would never have met Sue Ann at EARL's. Molly also admitted that Mama Grace's story made her realize how many dogs needed help, and her mom knows that too. If we had not been volunteering as a family that day, if they had not asked us to take her out, then she would not be our dog, and the PAWS project would have never even happened, said Mindy. Her next words brought tears to our eyes. Because of Mama Grace, all of these animals have been saved, all of this money raised, and honestly the lives of not just Molly and I, But all the families that received these dogs have been changed forever, concluded Mindy. She is such a proud mother and knows that she made the right decision when they adopted Mama Grace.